There has been a lot of doubt over and around Liverpool's status as a Premier League club, not because of the fact that they're staring at relegation or anything like that, but because there has been uncertainty behind the scenes as to whether the current owners would in fact be wanting to sell the club. There's been plenty of credible evidence to suggest that Liverpool's owners, Fenway Sports Group, or FSG for short, who are chaired by John Henry, are in fact interested in selling off the club and would be looking at a massive bid. However, Liverpool's owners have actually now come out in the public and said that we're not interested in selling the club and we are only looking for investors. But what does that mean then for the future of the club going forward? Because obviously you can debate as to whether or not FSG being there is good news. But simple fact of the matter is that if the owners are going to be staying on, then there is plenty that they will need to tackle at the club. What are those things they'll need to tackle, and what exactly it is that has been said about a potential Liverpool sale? That's what we're going to be covering in this video here. So without further ado, let's just check in with what exactly has been said by this man, John Henry. Now, what Henry said, and he gave these quotes to a local newspaper in America, was that I know there has been a lot of conversation and quotes about LFC, which is Liverpool Football Club, but I keep to the fact we merely formalized an ongoing process. So that is what he said, is that we're not actually looking to sell the club outright. This was just an ongoing process that we had, that we were looking for new investors, and we've merely formalized that interest. So it's not just about us wanting to sell the club. He further goes on to add, will we be in England forever? No. Are we selling LFC? No. Are we talking with investors about LFC? Yes. Will something happen there? Yeah, I believe so, but it won't be a sale. Have we sold anything in the past 20 plus years? Now, the last two parts are very, very important, because as he said, it won't be a sale, and have we sold anything in the past 20 plus years? Now, Liverpool isn't the only club that Fenway Sports Group own. They also own the Boston Red Sox in the MLB, and generally speaking, they have kept a hold of that club and backed it through thick and thin. So there is in fact credible evidence to support the claim that they will not be selling Liverpool. And in fact, he's now come out and outright denied the fact that there'll be a total sale. He does, however, say that we are looking with investors who will be looking to add more money to the club. So it's not so much about a sale as much as it is about getting new investors on board. At least that's what Henry has said publicly. However, if that really is to be the case, then the simple fact of the matter is that Liverpool's owners have a lot of work in their hands come this summer. The club are currently, of course, not going through a good time period, as we're going to discuss, but if that has to be corrected, then a lot has to be done by those beyond the football manager, Jurgen Klopp. Liverpool's woes, as I said, have come from out of nowhere, and truth be told, you would think that it was something that was a long time in the making, but just as recently as last season, the 21-22 season, Liverpool were in fact on course for a quadruple. They could have won all four trophies that they were competing in. That was, of course, the Premier League, the UEFA Champions League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. They won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, but they couldn't go on to win the Premier League or the Champions League. Then from there on, the fall was sudden and it was massive, because right now they're sitting 10th in the Premier League table. It's not exactly a great position for them to be in, and they're out of both the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. So it's not exactly a good place for them to be right now. They're not going to be competing for any major honors, and yes, I know they are still very much alive in the UEFA Champions League, but even that seems like at best a long shot for them to actually be winning any trophy. So suffice to say, as I said, that things are not looking very good for Liverpool in this particular season, because they aren't going to be competing for trophies. It doesn't seem likely they're qualifying for Europe, at least on the basis of their league position, because, well, they're not going to be really qualifying for it based on where it is they are right now. Now, the real question thereafter is what exactly can be done to improve them in this situation. A lot of people were saying that, one of the reasons Liverpool were in such turmoil is because, well, there was off-the-field turmoil for them to deal with. They had people from key positions leaving. It was clear that the ownership group wanted to sell, and therefore they weren't investing as much money. So the major issues come in there. There are three things which they have to be doing come the, summer of 2023 if they are to become competitive again. The first thing is to replace the key personnel who have left. They need to be getting in a new director of football and other people to negotiate transfers. These are positions that were in fact left empty because there was so much of a transition within the club that most people felt that these jobs are only be filled once there was a change in ownership. Now it's pretty clear there won't be a change in ownership, so these key personnel need to be replaced instantly. Secondly, they need to invest in a lot more new players because again, the look of the current side is a bit stagnant. It's not right to expect the same kind of magic from the same group of players year on year on year. And it's expecting a lot from the football manager as well in Jurgen Klopp to actually keep motivating the same set of players. You always have to keep refreshing and changing up your squad just a little bit every season to ensure that no complacency sets in the dressing room. And that unfortunately hasn't happened. The third most important thing would be to replace some of the aging stars that are there in the side. Obviously, Liverpool were it was very commendable of them that they were loyal to the players who brought them plenty of success, but it's pretty apparent that they need an injection of fresh blood to get more success in the future. But to do that, they'll have to move on the players who are currently at the club and who, despite their star status, aren't really doing all that much. So it's a big summer ahead for Liverpool in terms of refurbishing their squad and starting a whole new project. The good news is they'll still be doing it under ownership that has been there for more than a decade at this point, and who have at least shown that they have a clear-cut plan and approach when it comes to how it is they want to do business. So the key takeaways from all of this is that Liverpool won't be up for sale, which, depending on your opinion on FSG's ownership, could be a good thing or a bad thing, but it can be turned around even if it's a bad thing if FSG actually choose to invest in the team now that it's clear that they aren't really interested in selling the club to begin with. But that's just how I feel about all this. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and tap the bell icon so you know when we're going live or uploading a new video for you guys. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And last but not least, don't forget to download the AajTak app where you'll get more such breaking news updates, not just from the world of football, but the world of sport at the tip of your fingers. Thank you all once again for joining us. If you're already on the channel, please don't forget to check out a few more other videos that we may have done. For now though, from my side, goodbye.